Okay, audible, right? Yeah. So the first concept is the concept of M1. Now, what is M1? M1 means, Abhi, just don't worry, just understand. The first concept is M1. M1 means the cash with people, the currency in circulation, plus, remember, the cash with people plus the demand deposits by banks. Now, what does it mean? Now, remember, deposits are of two types. When you go to the bank, there are deposits of two types. One is called demand deposit, other is called time deposits. Demand deposit is a deposit which is like current account, saving account. You can withdraw this money on demand. You go to the bank, you have a saving account. You put the check, you put the ATM, you withdraw money anytime on demand. There is no restriction. Bank cannot say no. Whatever money you have in the bank cannot say no. Time deposit, on the contrary, there is a time stamp. You cannot withdraw. For example, fixed deposit. So if there is a fixed deposit, you cannot withdraw this money. And why you cannot withdraw this money? Why you cannot withdraw this money? Because there is a time stamp to it. There is a FD of 2 years. Now you can withdraw this money only after 2 years. Now, if you want to withdraw it today, there'll be penalty. There'll be penalty. You can withdraw, but there'll be penalty. So that is the concept of. Now, M1 means the cash with people and demand deposit, which means this M1 is liquid money. Now, what is liquid? Liquid money which you can use it immediately, right away. Liquid money मतलब तुरंत use कर सकते हैं. You have cash in hand, you can use it immediately. You have a bank deposit, you immediately went to the ATM, withdrew money. You withdraw the money and you're using it immediately. So M1 is liquid money. Liquid money means almost 100% liquid, almost 100% liquid. Almost. Cash is the most liquid. I have gold. Gold is also liquid. But cash is more liquid because I can use cash right away. Now you go to a shop. And you say, there is a bill comes in. So you have an option. You can pay cash, right? You can pay cash. You don't have a cash. You took out your, your earrings, gold earrings, and put in front of him. You'd say, what is this, ma'am? Are you serious? And I don't have money. Okay, ma'am, do one thing. Go to a jewelry store. It's just beside my, shop. Go and get cash from there. You go to a jewelry shop, they will give you cash immediately. Just they will calculate, check the quality of gold, do some calculation from their end, and they will give you cash immediately. Which means cash is more liquid than gold. Let's say you have a building, you had cash, you purchase a house. Now house is not liquid. Abhi aisa thodi hota hai, you go to a shop, you're purchasing, items from there in a showroom. And then that person says, give me money. You said, do you see that house? Yes, that house is mine. So what? I need money, give me cash. I will sell that house one day and then I will give it to you. And that person will say, okay, the day you will sell the house, then come to me. Today, right now, leave the showroom. You're wasting my time. Which means when you're doing economic activity, when you're purchasing, you need liquid money to deal it. M1 is liquid money, which is like cash or the bank deposits. Clear hua? M1 is, and that is where M1 is called narrow money. Now, why it is called narrow money? Because the definition of money is narrow. It does not include all money in the economy. It is narrow money. Definition is narrow. We are not including entire money in the economy. The definition of money is narrow. But it is highly liquid, almost liquid. It is called liquid money. Liquid means you can use that money immediately. Clear hua? Is this clear? Okay, so if you see the formula, what is the formula? You can write down the formula. M1 equal to currency plus coins with people, which means currency and coin with people, and demand deposit of banks. Demand deposit of banks and other deposits with RBI. Which means demand deposit with RBI. Now normally बैंक के पास demand deposit होता है, but there are certain people who can have demand deposit with RBI also, like ex RBI governor, deputy governor. They can open bank account in RBI similar to what we do in the normal banks. So that is other deposit. Deposit of foreign central bank, multilateral institution, financial institution, and IMF. These are deposit with the RBI. Now this is also demand. On demand you can withdraw. So this is the total money supply in the economy, M1. That is narrow money. यानी एक तो cash हो गया, people cash. Second is the demand deposit of banks, and third is there are institutions like IMF, World Bank. There are other countries' central bank, which means let's say Nepal central bank. We have RBI, similarly RBI of Nepal. Okay, so they will not put money in this account. They will put money with RBI. They will put money with RBI, and that money is also of demand deposit nature. They can also use that money whenever it needed. So that is also part of money supply. So it is नहीं, आपसे कोई लेना नहीं है, ये पैसा कौन है, ये पैसा किसी और का है ना. It is in the economy. Now this, you can use your money, right? They can use their money. नेपाल का जो सेंट्रल बैंक है, उनका पैसा हमारे सेंट्रल बैंक में रखा हुआ है, इंडियन करेंसी वाला. So Nepal, let's say the central bank of Nepal, they have some currency with RBI, Indian currency, which they can use in India, because money supply is about India. It is not about Nepal. So let's say RBI has a deposit in America, but it is in dollars. Similarly, Nepal has a deposit in India, which is in rupees. You getting it? So that is the concept of M1. Is this clear or not? M1. Is this clear to everybody? M1. Right? Chalo, good. So that is the concept of stock of money. M1 equal to currency and coin. That means currency with people, demand deposit of banks, and other deposit with RBI. Now this other deposit is also, it is also similar to demand deposit, which means M1 is liquid in nature. Liquid means you can use it immediately. Abhi, you must have business people, they say this common statement. Abhi liquid ka problem hai. There is a problem of liquid, which means I don't have cash circulation right now. So you will say, I will give you money after 2 months. My season is going to come. Then I will have liquid, which means I will have cash with me. Are you getting my point? This is a very common layman term. Normally businessmen, they say this word. There is a problem of liquid with me. I don't have money, which means. Okay? Because many a times the business are highly seasonal in nature. Okay? Is this clear to everybody? Have you noted it down? Chalo, next. Then comes M2. Now what is M2? M1. Now remember M1 means that M1 already, plus demand deposit of post office. Now what is post office? Post office. You can open bank account in post office also. Do you know that? You can open account in post office also. Post office allows you to open an account, saving account. Okay? So saving scheme money, that means your deposit with post office in form of saving scheme money, which means you can also withdraw whenever you want. But that is included in M2. वो M1 का part नहीं है. Now let me explain this concept to you. Let me explain this concept. For now, just assume that M1 plus demand deposit with post office. Okay, M1 plus demand deposit post office is M2. Now question comes, where this money is coming from? Because normal people don't use this money. Am I right? Normal people are not using this money. Basically, how many post offices are there in India? Any idea? Can you tell me? This is the number of post offices in India. Today we have banks, right? What about in 70s, 80s or 90s? There were very few banks. At that time, the only place where people could deposit money was post office, because post office had very wide and inclusive reach. You can go to post office, they will have a small saving scheme where you can put money like bank, and we can withdraw whenever you want. So that money is in the concept of M2. So this is M2. Okay, just remember. Now this money today is very less. Earlier it was high, but today it is very less. Abhi post office, none of the people go to post office. वो post office में पैसे रखने वाला concept खत्म हो गया. That concept is not available anymore. But there is still people in India who know only post office. They don't know bank. There are people in rural area, in remote areas, they know post office, they don't know banks. Because post office has been giving this service since very long time, hundreds of years. Okay? So that is why. So this concept is in India only, it is not in the West. Abhi West mein post office bank deposit thodi deta hai. Are you getting it? Okay? So that is the concept. So write down M1 plus demand deposit of post office, that is saving schemes money. Then comes M3. निकाल सकते हैं. This money can also be used on demand. It is called demand deposit, right? You can withdraw on demand anytime. Because post office is not the part of banking system or financial system. It is outside the banking system. It is an alternative system which was already existing. We created banking system today. Less than 1% money is here. Less than 1%. Almost negligible money हो गया अब यहाँ पे. But this is coming on. This concept is coming on since maybe decades. पता नहीं है आपको. The interest rate are highest here. It is poor people put money here, right? Small saving schemes are put in the post office. And remember one more thing. करते तो कोई भी कर सकता है, but poor people keep money here in the post office. And one more thing, they give you higher interest rate, and every money is secured. Means you get insurance on every deposit. पता नहीं है. Awareness is an issue. Because government knows that the poor people are more putting money in the post office, so they are securing that poor people. No. It was accumulated over a period of time, right? Almost 8-10 years में हुआ होगा, right? Yeah, 10 years. Then comes the M3. अभी after class रजनी आप पोस्ट ऑफिस में डिपॉजिट खोलने वाले लग रहे हैं. Right. You can invest in PPF. You can हाँ. और बाकी गवर्नमेंट तो सब सर हाँ उसमें. Yes. See, the concept of micro saving is very interesting. You do small savings over a long period of time. That money will accumulate. That is the concept of saving. Saving is not a concept that jab I have lot of money then I will save. The problem is that you will never have lot of money. There will always be a scarcity of money. There will always be. You take my word. Your salary gets doubled, your expenditure will get double. Your life will get double. You start wearing expensive things. You will start having bigger home, bigger house, bigger rent, bigger this, bigger that. The concept of luxury, the concept of comfort will, basic necessity changes. So saving is a very important thing. You start saving right away. And if you're not saving, believe me, it is not good. That is why I don't save. Okay. Okay, let's come here. So now comes the M3. Now what is M3? M3 equal to M1 plus time term deposit of the banks. Now let's understand this. What is it? M3 equal to M1 plus time deposit with banks. Now what are time deposit? Anything apart from demand deposit will be time deposits. Okay? Everybody clear? This is time deposit. Time deposit means abhi bank or whatever bank deposits people have, there will be either demand or there will be either time. So there will be either demand or there will be time deposits. So in this demand deposit was considered in M1. Now this will be time deposit with banks. So M3 is actually, it is called money supply. इसी को हम money supply कहते हैं. Because M3 actually is telling us about the money supply. Because it includes the cash with people and the bank deposit. Am I right? M3 it consists of the cash with people and the demand deposit. The entire deposits of the economy. In fact, this M3 includes cash plus total deposits in the economy. Am I right? So M3 is also called money supply and it is called broad money. What do you mean by broad money? It means that it includes almost every money that we have in the economy. Okay, that is the definition of the concept of. ठीक है, चलो. Okay, so everybody has written M2 equal to M1 plus demand deposit, M3 equal to M1 plus time deposit. Now what you have to do, you have to do practice of this because questions are asked from here directly in UPSC. Okay. Now M4, what is M4? M3 plus total deposit of the post office. M3 plus total deposit of the post office. That is M1 time deposits plus total deposit. So this is actually, M4 is the actually total money in the economy. This is actually the total money in the economy. But the problem is that with time, almost since, with time, the money with banks have increased and with post office has come down drastically. Almost negligible money hai abhi post office mein, if I consider the entire economy. People keep money, but that money has been very less now. And in future, it is believed that this money will vanish. All money will be in the bank only. And why is that so? Because there is a limitation in post office. Post office does not give you range of service. The range of service is very limited. In bank, you get a lot of facilities. You can, withdraw it. You can transfer the money. You can, there are a lot of facilities also given in the, banks. Like, you can invest the money. You can do insurance. You can take loan. All those facilities are not given there in the post office. Post office mainly is for savings earlier. And people had surplus money and they used post office as an instrument where they used to save. And also because we had the reach of banking system was very limited. We had very few banks. I will give you data and that will surprise you. Just 10 years ago, okay, in 2011, banking penetration ratio in India, just 10 years ago, almost 11 you can say, was how much? 58.6%. It means what? Out of 100, 58.6 people had bank accounts. Can you believe that? Just 11 years ago. This number is changed today. This number is almost close to 100. But this was as per census 2011, which means people did not have access to bank. The banks were very few. Today, this number is changing. This number is high now. We don't have the exact data because that data will come in the new census that we have. But that is the reality, which means, it means what? Around 41.4%, 41.4% people in India, no bank account. Can you believe that? This is about India. Now question comes, what will a bank will do? Bank will give you a lot of facilities. Bank will empower you. Right? Okay. Is this clear so far? Chalo. So we have M1, M2, M3 and M4. That covers the money supply. You don't have to remember anything else. So that is the concept of money supply, right? Now coming to the reserve money concept. Now let's come back to the concept of reserve money. Now remember, we have understood M1, M2, M3 and M4, but we have not understood the base money. Now normally what happens? Just look at the definition and you remember it. Basic concept, it says that this is the money from which the entire money gets generated in the economy, which means the currency in circulation, people will have cash, right? The first point of money will be money with people. The second is banker deposit with RBI. Now when I have cash, I go and put my money with the bank. Now what does bank do? Bank will keep a part of money with RBI. That is called banker deposit with RBI. I'll explain it to you. So bank has a deposit of, let's say 100 crore. Out of this 100 crore, 4%, right now it is 4.5%. 4.5% of this deposit, which is the net deposit, has to be kept with RBI. And this term is used as cash reserve ratio, CRR. So this is the reserve money. This is the money. This has to be maintained with RBI in cash form. And every bank will have to do that. Moment bank gets deposit, 4.5% will be with RBI. So what happens? RBI can change this. RBI can change this. And when RBI can change this, which means RBI can change this, RBI can manipulate this. And moment RBI manipulates this, let's say manipulation means changing the rates. Moment RBI manipulates it, which means this money, remember, moment RBI manipulates this, let's say RBI increases CRR, what does it mean? Bank will have less money. RBI decreases it, which means banks will have more money. So this will change the money multiplier. Because if bank has less money, it cannot give loan. If bank has more money, it will give more loan. So that is the concept of, so reserve money means currency in circulation plus banker deposit with RBI and other deposit with RBI, the same other deposit. You just remember this concept, I'm not. Write it down.